big adjustment working with Tanner in that game for you at center?
No, I wouldn't say so. He works into the rotation during practice. We do a thing called season cues every practice, which I think you guys have seen, and obviously pregame as well. So he's gotten plenty of snaps. He got a few snaps before he went in, but he's a smart guy. He had everything pretty dialed in.
Adrian, is there anything that you can take from going on the road to the big house to going down to Madison and playing on the road again against a ranked opponent?
Could you repeat that for me?
Is there anything that you can take from your experience
Okay.
at Michigan into another hostile environment like Wisconsin?
Honestly, just having that warrior mentality, knowing that it's going to be a little rowdy. Things might not go our way with the refs, with certain calls, whatever. But just keep your head down and know that we're all we got. You know, on the road, it's the teammates, the coaches, it's us, and that's it.
Do you feel like maybe the last three drives there against Purdue, do you feel like you were close to breaking through and really getting close against them, making it one score?
Most definitely. Most definitely. I think it was a few decisions by me, I think, away from really coming through on that. We had a few opportunities. We'd really hit our stride offensively, obviously, there for a little bit, and then stalled as soon as the defense started making some stops. You know, I think that interception, kind of as I spoke to on Saturday, hurt for sure on that drive. We had another opportunity the following drive. I think if those went different ways, it would have turned out a little bit better there for us.
What's Mario like to go through the film with the day after?
He does his usual routine, getting up at 4:30 in the morning. You know, I'm sure you guys have heard of that, and writes a full game evaluation, very detailed. And then we go in the morning and go pick that up. We talk about the game, kind of an overview, and then we watch film individually, going through the game evaluation and kind of play-by-play, seeing what we did, seeing what he thought, and going from there.
When you face adversity or had past or now, what do you lean on in terms of here's where I go to stay positive and to remind myself of the ability? Are there players? Is there family? Is there a philosophy? What do you lean on as a player and person?
Definitely. I would say a few things. First off, my family. My father has been a huge influence to me and has always kept me grounded. I have so many people in my life, and since coming here, even more people now that I can really rely on to support me. And then I think it's just who I am as a person. I think that's how I was raised, just to be resilient, not to accept defeat, and just keep moving forward. You know, the sun always shows up the next day, just knowing that and knowing that there are brighter days ahead. You keep pushing, you know, the result will be there soon enough.
Adrian, it's only 3 games into your college career, but has there been one eye-opening experience or something that you wouldn't have ever thought in college football, or anything that you've learned from?
I mean, I think the experience in general has just been so awesome for me. It's hard to describe it as any other way. I think growing up, this is all I wanted to do. I wanted to play college football so bad, and getting to come to a place like Nebraska, playing in front of these fans in this stadium, getting to go to the big house, getting to play Wisconsin. I mean, this is what it's about. I think at the end of the day, it's hard not just to be thankful to have this opportunity.
What are your thoughts about Wisconsin?
Obviously, they're a very tough team. They're not going to make a whole lot of mistakes defensively, offensively. We're going to have to take advantage of our possessions on offense. They're the type of team that I think will use some clock, so we're not going to have as many possessions, as many plays. So just being as efficient as possible offensively for us.
9 games at Camp Randall are pretty tough for opposing teams. What are your thoughts about playing at 9 there?
I'm excited for the opportunity. I mean, this is what college football is about. I think if you're not a competitor, you'd be afraid. But I'm a competitor. I think we're going to be prepared with Coach Frost and these guys that I have behind me. I think I'm going to be confident going in.
I'm curious what you've seen from Cade Warner. He was elevated last week. You guys threw him a lot of this game. now listed #1 on the depth chart. What's he done to kind of get the opportunity he's gotten this last week?
Yeah, well, he's Mr. Consistent. I think if you'd have asked us about him back in spring ball, we'd say he's a guy who knows what he's doing. He's a guy that we can count on out there. I know where he's going to be on the field, and that's nice to have as a quarterback. I can rely on him to catch the ball, to run the right route, to block his guy, and I think that's definitely a good thing right now for us.
There's nobody on this roster who's beaten Wisconsin. Do you guys talk about that, and you consider it a rival?
I don't think that's necessarily something we talk about. It's something I wasn't fully aware of, to be honest with you. But I think it's something that needs to happen while we're here. I think that's everyone's goal, obviously, is to beat Wisconsin, something we need to do. They're a tough team and a team that's ruled on our side of the division, I think, for a little while here. So it's definitely a team that we're aiming to take off.
You guys are going good in the run game, and when Divine plays like even on Saturday, what's going well? What facilitated the night that he, or the afternoon that he had running the ball?
Yeah, well, I think it starts with the offensive line, obviously setting the tone at the line of scrimmage. I think they did a good job, and then there's also the threat of me keeping the ball in certain plays, along with the fact that Divine's running hard. I mean, I think you can go back on a lot of those plays and see him going full speed, and that's a big part of it, just being decisive and making those cuts, and I don't think guys wanted to tackle him.
Either one from the overall results maybe aren't there from the game. What are some smaller things that you can point to on offense that you maybe progressive or better?
You know, I think you look back at that third quarter, and we were looking how we're supposed to. We were doing what we expected to do from the beginning of the season. We were hitting on all cylinders there and just being efficient and fast with tempo, and that first drive as well. So kind of looking at those moments and knowing we need to be like that all the time. And if we can do that, we're going to be really deadly offensively.
Adrian, you've already gone on one road trip. What'd you learn from that road trip now that you're going to Madison?
Yeah, you know, just knowing that we're all we got, and it's things might not go our way. You know, it's going to be a tough environment, and just staying consistent and true to who we are.
Thanks, Brandon. Hey, Coach Frost was pretty emotional in his post-game interview. Did he come across that way in the locker room at all after the game?
Definitely. I would say he was emotional as you described it. I think he's just passionate about this team, passionate about us, and knows we can be better. We know we can be better, and it's, I think, disappointing as a whole and unacceptable. And we're working to get that fixed.